Battles are erupting at school board meetings across the state, and this has only increased as boards face tremendous pressure to adopt controversial policies that basically promote transgenderism to K-12 school kids. We're going to give you an update today on what's happening and what you can do to fairly protect all kids. Welcome to Speak Up Virginia, equipping you to speak up on the life, family, and freedom issues that matter most to you. From the Family Foundation, I'm your host, Candy Cushman, and I'm joined today by our legal counsel, Josh Hetzler. Well, Josh, I think this is the first time we've actually had the honor of having you on this show, so let's just tell our listeners a little bit about you. Now, most importantly, you serve as legal counsel for our Founding Freedoms Law Center. All right, what does that really mean you do on a day-to-day basis?
Well, Candy, it's a very exciting time now at the Founding Freedoms Law Center. We've been around for the past year, and so now a lot of people are finding out about us finally. One of the things that they're reaching out to us about is the cancel culture and the result of that in terms of their religious freedom. And that includes teachers and other people who are now in a position of maybe losing their job because they don't agree with their employer about something, or they've said something that their employer doesn't like, maybe at a school board meeting, for example. And we're also getting a lot of school students, public school students, reaching out to us, particularly about the mandated vaccine that for various reasons, maybe it's their religious freedom, they don't want to take. And so we're helping a lot of them out. And so it's very, very interesting time.
Well, we're going to dive right in today with some important updates on these controversial policies on transgenderism that's being pushed onto our schools and really just creating just a lot of furor in school board meetings across the state. So I just want to quickly bring our listeners up to speed on this. Basically, the Virginia Department of Education is requiring every single K-12 public school to adopt this policy that essentially, when you look at all the elements of it, it is essentially mandating promotion of gender confusion to even the youngest school kids. But we do want to be clear at the outset of this that we all agree every single kid, without exception, should feel safe. We should have safe environments for them, and they should all be protected from harm and harassment. There's no question of that. But the school district and the state of Virginia, they have good anti-bullying policies in place actually to address that. The problem is this new policy dealing with transgenderism, it goes way beyond that, way beyond anything about anti-bullying measures, and crosses this line into what becomes enforced promotion of really a kind of political activism.
Well, there are no doubt a number of very offensive things about this policy. One of them from the outset is that it really disrespects and kind of usurps local control over these issues. It's trying to force a formulaic approach, a one-size-fits-all approach onto every single community. And we know that Loudoun County, for example, is very different than Russell County. And there are a lot of different communities here in the Commonwealth. But another thing, and I think the worst part about this, is it puts local school boards and administrators in an impossible situation of violating key constitutional rights of students, parents, and teachers. And that includes rights of privacy, religious exercise, free speech, and a host of other things. So really, they're being put in an impossible situation and saying, do this or else, but when in fact doing it is, in our opinion, clearly violating numerous constitutional rights.
Okay, let's talk about the safety issue real quick. What are the safety concerns with this policy?
Well, for example, these policies would allow any boy to walk into a girl's facility, bathroom, locker room, or shower at any time and not even be questioned about it, simply because they claim to be of a different gender, or even if they don't claim it, since they're not allowed to be questioned about it, there's no way to police this.
I also wanted to get into the issue of parental authority here. Tell us about this language that's in the policy that actually gets into schools deceiving parents.
Well, it keeps parents in the dark. It basically encourages school administrators to not share with parents what their kids may be doing and experiencing relative to identifying with the opposite sex, or it may hide from parents how other students are using the facilities of their son or daughter.
I think one of the best comments we heard was from a dad at the Russell County School Board meeting. He did an awesome job sharing why this policy was concerning to him as the father of a 5-year-old daughter. Let's just listen to his comments really quick. His name is Jonathan.
So as a father and a citizen in Russell County, I'm asking you to stand strong, protect every kid by not adopting the Department of Education's transgender policy. This could directly threaten our kids' physical safety, privacy rights, and the policy forces the schools to allow boys identifying as girls, for instance, to use a girls' restroom, female locker rooms, and this can be done without notifying the parents.
Well, you can certainly empathize for this father who has a 5-year-old daughter going into schools for the very first time and is not going to be prepared for a boy to enter into her facilities. And as a father, your heart has to go out for him because you can understand how upsetting this would be. He wants to protect his daughter.
Well, the good news is there are some key actions that we are taking here at the Family Foundation to stand behind parents like Jonathan, as well as school board members who want to protect every kid fairly and equally, but to do so without sacrificing these core constitutional rights on the altar of political agendas. And we're addressing this both through legal action as well as through something called the Protect Every Kid initiative. So Josh, let's just start with the legal part of this. Your team filed a lawsuit against the Department of Education on this issue, and there was a court hearing on it a few days ago. Tell us where we're at with that right now.
Well, just recently, we were in Lynchburg City Circuit Court, where we were challenging the transgender model policies that were passed by the Department of Education. And we alleged a number of things, including that they violated the process of the Virginia Administrative Process Act when they actually created these. And then additionally, and most importantly, they violated the constitutional rights of students, parents, and teachers in the substance of the model policies through privacy, religious liberty, compelled speech, due process, and a number of other things. And so what we're hoping is that the court is going to put a stop to this, that we ask for a statewide injunction in order to try to prevent this from going into effect before school boards are compelled to pass something.
Thanks for tuning in if you're just now joining us for Speak Up Virginia, brought to you by the Family Foundation. For more information about us or the topics we're addressing, you can visit familyfoundation.org. That's familyfoundation.org. All right, well, in addition to the legal side of this, we also have an initiative called Protect Every Kid. And this is basically a statewide movement to stand behind concerned citizens, parents, school board members, those who want to speak up for the physical safety, hearts, and minds of kids at school. That is the heart behind this Protect Every Kid initiative. And I just want to mention, if you want to learn more about that and how you can get involved with protecting every kid at school and get resources to give to your school board members about this, educate them on this policy, what's wrong with it, go to familyfoundation.org/protecteverykid, and you're going to find lots of resources there. And the fact is, this is all very time sensitive because school boards are under tremendous pressure right now to adopt this transgender issue policy. They are getting pressure top down from Richmond-based Department of Education to do this before the school year starts. And so basically our team is trying to go through community to community and stand behind these parents. And we've almost been on a Protect Every Kid road tour of sorts. And we saw one of the most encouraging results of this happening the other day in Russell County, which made national news. Josh, tell us about this, your observations. What were really the highlights of that for you?
It was really an incredible thing to be a part of. Over 500 parents in a relatively rural community showed up to the school board meeting. It was standing room only. Russell County School Board had never had a board meeting like this before. Everybody was waving the Protect Every Kid signs, wearing the stickers, and it was overwhelmingly people who were opposing this and who were speaking up for their children. It was really, really encouraging to see. And at one point, they broke out into song, into a hymn of some kind, I believe, and everyone seemed to know it. So that was something new.
Yeah, that was amazing. I think it was a old-time Christian hymn, and they all started singing. Let's just listen to that really quick.
Praise the Lord! I'm glad to sing, I'm glad to sing. Oh, hallelujah.
You know, I was doing watching a radio program the other day, and they asked me, why are the people singing? And I said, well, they're just trying to show each other to take heart and that they're together, that they're not alone. But I think it shows you cannot eradicate the Judeo-Christian influence from Virginia, right?
Absolutely. We saw it alive and well here, and we've been seeing it in a lot of places. So I think there's a lot of reason to hope, a lot of reason to say, the values that we share are still alive and well. And I think what these policies may have done is sort of awakened a sleeping giant.
Well said. And in fact, the outcome of that whole meeting was that Russell County School Board took this vote, and they just became one of the first school districts in the whole state to outright reject the Department of Education's transgender issue policy as written, because it did have so many constitutional issues. That's what the board said. So that was really a historical outcome that we hope will encourage school districts across the state. So they rejected that, and then they voted instead on this resolution that emphasized parental rights. And they did that unanimously, 7-0. So it was amazing. But Josh, just real quick, what are some key parts of that resolution that maybe other communities might want to take a look at?
The resolution really laid out the responsibilities of the school board. It laid out what the law was relative to constitutional rights and parental rights. And then it said in the end that we can't support these model policies that are being put out by the department because we have real concerns over their constitutionality. So they outright rejected the model policies.
Yeah, and the resolution was just a really strong statement that they wanted to protect parental rights, and it cited some Supreme Court cases that say that parents have the right to direct the upbringing and the education of their children. And Josh, I have to give you credit because you were publicly thanked for lending your expertise with what the board did that night and the resolution and everything.
Right. I was a little surprised, and I felt like a celebrity after the fact. Everyone in Russell County wanted to shake our hands, those of us with the Family Foundation who were there. So they're very, very grateful.
It was a really neat experience that I know we'll never forget. If people want to learn how they can take similar action with their school boards and get the Family Foundation's help, again, just go to familyfoundation.org and click on the banner we have, the Protect Every Kid banner. You'll see it there right at the top of the website. Well, there was a lot to get through today, so we just ran out of time for our usual inconceivable segment, but I thought it would be fun to go out with just a little clip of a special moment at the Russell County Board meeting when a young person, Erica Hubbard, sang the Star-Spangled Banner at our Protect Every Kid rally.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Hi, this is Victoria Cobb, president of the Family Foundation of Virginia, with a special update for you. During today's Speak Up episode, you heard our legal counsel, Josh Hetzler, discussing our lawsuit against the Department of Education's controversial transgender issue policies for schools. But just after taping the show, we got word that a decision on this case had been handed down. The bad news is the Virginia Circuit Judge ruled that parents lack standing, meaning they haven't proven harm yet to be able to file a lawsuit against the controversial policy. But the good news is the judge made it clear that this policy is mere guidance, and that means school boards have the right to vote according to the best interests of their community. For more information, go to our website at familyfoundation.org.
Thanks for joining us for this week's Speak Up Virginia, brought to you by the Family Foundation. Visit us at familyfoundation.org. That's familyfoundation.org. See you next time, and don't forget, we are stronger when we speak together.